Maybe you set the goals and you checked them twice, and it feels like you've tried all the time management strategies and just about every productivity tool, but you're still not achieving your goals as consistently as you want to. Time just seems to fly by and you just don't have the energy to keep working. The problem might not be with your time management or with your goal setting. Instead, you might need to pay attention to and work on your energy management. Welcome to Breathe and Bloom. My name is Ashley, in case you don't know. And if you don't know, that means you are new here. So take a minute to hit that red subscribe button down below. In this video, I'm going to unpack the 4 sources of energy and how you can protect and increase your energy in each of these ways. Of course, you want to watch till the very end of the video because it is packed with thought-provoking information and resources that can help you maximize your productivity and personal development and live a well-balanced and purpose-driven life. So let's jump right into it. Now, the first type of energy, or the first source of energy that we have is physical energy. And I am going to spend the least amount of time talking about physical energy, not because it's the least important, but I think because we know the most about it, right? You know that you need a rest to be energized. You know that you need nutrition. You know that exercising boosts energy and boosts physical health in general, which allows you to do stuff. And you know the benefits of getting you some vitamin D, getting some sunlight. In case you're like, no, Ashley, I don't actually know this. Think about a time when you didn't have one of those 4 things and how you felt. So how do you boost your physical energy? Get more of each of those things, right? I can move on, yeah? So let's talk about mental energy, your ability to focus and to think clearly and to not get bogged down. And so how do you increase this? Well, you want to increase flow, or you want to increase the amount of time that you're working in your zone, you know, at that sweet spot where you don't even realize that time is passing by because of how much work you're getting done. Now, one major way to increase your flow is to decrease the amount of time that you switch between tasks. Switching tasks, or a temporary shift in attention from one task to another, like stopping to answer an email while you're doing something you need to be focusing on, increases the amount of time it takes to finish the task you are actually working on by as much as 25%. So if it was going to take you 1 hour to write this blog post, this paper, it's going to take you 25% longer to do this if you switch tasks. And so it's far more efficient to fully focus for 25 to 50 minutes, take a true break, and then fully focus on the next activity. So it might be that, you know, you're working on your writing and an email comes in. You don't switch over to answer the email or read the email or what have you. You ignore it for a little bit, keep on writing, take your little break, and then say, I'm gonna spend 45 minutes, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, what have you, on going through my emails to see what I missed and to catch up and all of that. Some other ways to increase flow are to stop attempting to multitask because it's not a thing. We don't actually do it well. Of course, sometimes, you know, if I'm watching TV, I'll also, you know, be texting a friend, but that's because there's no stake there. It's not high stakes. It's not something where I'm trying to protect my mental energy. But if it is that you're working on something that counts towards the goal, then you want to definitely not try to multitask and to switch tasks less. Another way to increase flow and to protect your mental energy is to set clear boundaries. And so that might be implicitly set boundaries or explicitly set boundaries. It might be that the people you work with know that when you say you're gonna work on this thing, you don't want to chit chat. You want to just work on this thing, and then you're going to take a break and you'll be all in for the chit chat. Finally, another way to increase flow and to protect your mental energy and expand your mental energy is to time block. And you want to check out this video right up here for more tips on time blocking. All right, the third type of energy that we'll talk about is spiritual energy, and we have one more to go, and I'm saving it for last because, to be honest, I've been struggling with that fourth one just a little bit, but I'm working on it. And I believe in all things growth. I believe that, you know, when I invest my time into something, I will see the outcomes. I will see actual change and improvement. But let's talk about spiritual energy first. Tony Schwartz is quoted as saying, being attentive to your own deeper needs dramatically influences your effectiveness and your satisfaction at work. And you can see where that intuitively makes sense. And I've definitely experienced that for myself. If, you know, I'm spending the whole week just doing small tasks, just putting out small fires and not doing any meaningful work, any work that is bringing me closer towards my goal, or that is aligned with my purpose or my passions, then I do feel drained and dissatisfied and like, where did my time go? I'm just wasting my life. Another quote from Tony Schwartz is, to access the energy of the human spirit, people need to clarify priorities and establish accompanying rituals in 3 categories. Do what they do best and enjoy most at work. Consciously allocate time and energy to the areas of their work, of their lives, including, you know, work, family, spiritual, you know, all of these holistic self-care things that we talk about here on this channel. And thirdly, you need to live your core values in your daily behaviors. And in case you don't know, I've been working on a planner, and I've shared a PDF version of this planner. And one of the things that I ask that we do before we actually write our monthly goals is that we reflect on the past month. And one of the things that I encourage people to reflect on, and I don't think I've seen this in any planner, and I tend to just browse them to see if any catch my eye. And the reason I'm making one is because there's never one that was just right. So if you feel me on the planner struggle, you definitely want to check out that template, and it's linked in the description box below. But I ask for us to reflect on our core values as a part of our monthly reflection, not just our productivity, not just our spiritual health, not just our emotional health or self-care or personal development or habits, but to also reflect on the extent to which we lived our core values. And Sir Tony Schwartz seems to agree with me. And then the final type of energy is emotional energy. You can think of that as your mood or your mental status. And in order to increase your emotional energy or to protect your emotional energy, you want to take more control of your emotions. You need to first become more aware of how you feel at various points during the workday and the impact of those emotions on your effectiveness or your productivity. So many of us, and this is especially true for me, like I mentioned, are confronted with relentless demands and unexpected challenges, and this tends to result in us slipping into negative emotions. And the reason we tend to slip into negative emotions when we are faced with these challenging things is pretty natural. It's because of this fight or flight mode. And this looks like, for most people, becoming irritable and impatient or anxious and insecure. These are my confessions about my evenings at work, like when I'm working with other people. Pray my strength in the Lord, okay? And pray for the folk that I'm working with and needing. Such states of mind drain people's energy and causes friction in their relationships. And it often makes it impossible to think clearly and logically and reflectively. But of course, if we learn what types of events or what types of things that trigger these negative emotions, then we can better control it. For me, recently I had a conversation with somebody at work, which I probably should have waited, but to be honest, I was waiting a long time, like multiple weeks, to have this conversation. And basically my cup was about to overflow. And so I just had this conversation to say, hey, you keep on doing this thing that is triggering my negative emotions. Like, and I've been working to control, you know, my negative emotions, but there's only so much that we can keep inside, right? And so I had to identify what's causing the trigger and then work to resolve it. And one thing that I did was to try to clearly and compassionately communicate this. Another thing that I'm doing to work on, you know, protecting my emotional energy at work is to take breaks, and I take them by myself. In the summer, I was having very long meetings with my team, and I wasn't happy about these long meetings, and I'm sure they aren't happy or weren't happy about these long meetings. And so I decided to try out this very structured meeting agenda where we would build in breaks. And since the academic semester has started, I've been realizing that we really do need this structured agenda again, because we've been slipping into old habits of having these long meetings and of probably triggering each other's fight or flight mode, because, you know, we're talking about challenging things, trying to make a lot of decisions jam-packed in a small amount of time, and we're very different individuals with very different communication styles and all of that. Some other things that you can work on doing to protect and enhance your emotional energy are to journal and reflect, to meditate, to practice deep breathing and gratitude. I want to encourage you to check out a short survey that is in the Harvard Business Review. I've linked it in the description box, and this will help you to evaluate your energy management. And, you know, maybe you want to do the survey and then come back and watch this video and then pause as I talk through each of the 4 types of energy, so you can make a plan for how you will protect the energy, the type of energy that is most at risk for you. I want to encourage you, as I always do, to continue to breathe and to bloom, to remember that you matter and your goals are important, that you're alive for a reason, and that you can actually make a difference in your life and in others' lives. And in order to do that, you want to invest in yourself, invest in developing your mind, invest in your personal development, invest in better habits, but also invest in your well-being. I want to encourage you to take time this week to breathe, to do all the things that you know help you to be your best self. Until next time, take care.